next question.
He gets scared.
Did you ask a question? Alright, go. Yes, we do have a question. Alrighty, guys. If you guys settle down, we'll take out the next animal, okay? Alrighty, the next animal is kind of like the gator. It doesn't go on shows that often. Remember the gator I said, well, this is actually its first show, right? The skate, this is like its second or third show. So it's getting pretty good, but it's not a pro. It's not a pro like that big snake was. So we want to make sure we stay nice and calm. And the calmer we are, the more we get to see of it, okay? So that's cool, right? You guys ready? Whoa. Alrighty, guys. So Mark's going to tell you all about this. Want to get quiet? No. But you guys can see it, definitely. Alrighty. So Mark's going to tell you about this guy right here.
Blue-tongued skink. He's from Australia. He likes to hide in the bush. He's small, so he doesn't get eaten. You can smell him. Are you sure it's these guys? Josh will explain to you guys about smelling these guys.
What was the question?
They said that they can smell my reptiles.
Oh, no, you cannot smell your reptiles. What you're smelling is probably its environment, its house where it lives, right? Because us humans, we have sweat glands, right? So we secrete sweat and urates and things like that, right? So we have like a smell to us. Other mammals do. They don't have any sweat glands. Their scales are made of the same thing our nails are made out of, but they can't secrete any liquids. So it's not really possible for them to have a scent unless something that's on them has a scent. So usually what you're smelling, you're either smelling where they live, like if their house, their area is dirty, or if they have like literally like dirt on them. But from their bodies, they cannot secrete a scent. So it's cool. So it's actually more likely that we would smell more than they would. Kind of weird, right?
If he gets really mad,
yes.
His throat right here will get a little red. That tells you he's mad.
Yes, he's a lizard, so he is here. Very good. Yes.
What is these holes for? That's right here.
The rhino horn, that's correct. Rhino horn. Very good. What she said up here, she said, oh, well the scales are made of the same thing that rhino horns are made of. That's correct. Rhino horns are made of keratin also, just like our fingernails.
Okay.
So what Mark's going to do, Mark's going to walk on this side and then move around so you guys can see him too, okay? Alright guys, we have a question over here. I know it's really exciting to see the blue-tongued skink, right? Super exciting, I know, it's awesome. But let's hear the question too. That's cool, that's awesome, I wish I did. Alright, next question.
What's that?
Yes, there are big animals. If we're nice and quiet, we're going to see more stuff. We're going to see some baby animals. Alright guys, I can hear the question. Guys, I'm taking one more question, and I can't hear it, so let me ensure I can hear it.
No, you can't pet this guy. He gets really scared.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't our bunny. It was a bunny running around. It's not my bunny. Alright. Alright, Lillian. It does have patterns on his back. The patterns help it camouflage in, help it blend in really well. Alrighty guys, the next animal is a baby. Okay? So since it is a baby, it gets scared, okay? If she moves around, don't worry, she's not going anywhere. I got her, okay? But you have to make sure you stay nice and calm because it's a type of lizard, okay? Lizards can hear very well. So any noise we make, it can hear us, okay? It's a super rare animal. You won't see these guys anywhere. Not even in zoos will you see them.
Shh, girls.
Guys, this animal right here, if she gets scared, I have to put her back right away, okay? This right here, it's a water monitor, right? You guys can actually help me out. There's a show, I believe on the Disney Channel, where the person has a really big lizard. Yes. What's it called? Jessie. Yeah, the animal that they have on that show. Yeah, exactly. What's it called? Mr. Kibbles? Yeah, Mrs. Okay, Mrs. Kibling. She's a water monitor. Alright guys, settle down. Settle down, guys. So that's a water monitor, except that one's dark, right? The reason that one's dark, that's a normal one. This one is actually an albino. It's a type of albino called a T2 albino. We're the only place in the world to have them. So what happens is, when this was born, it was really dark. And what happened, as it got older, it got lighter and lighter and lighter. And when this is an adult, this is still a baby. When it's an adult, it's going to be way lighter than this. How big do you think these guys are when they're full grown? You guys have a hint because you guys saw that show. That's a pretty decent sized one on that show. You in the chair.
Probably about 17 feet.
No!
I don't know.
Next, you. Get a lot of time. Yeah. No, getting closer. You said 11 feet. Let's take it over here. 9 feet, that's closer. Okay, good, good. So let's start with that. This right here, they usually average for the males about 6.5 feet, right? In the wild, they could get potentially 10 feet. You see what he's doing right now? This baby doing the same thing like the tegu was doing, right? And the snakes. 1 second, buddy. Okay. So it's tasting the air, seeing what's going on. If you look on the top of its head, I'm gonna push him around so everyone can see him. All right, just sit down. Sit down. There's a small little light dot on top of its head. You have to look very carefully to see it. Okay? I'm going to tell you about that dot, guys. What happens is they have a sixth sense. So, say for example, if somebody's trying to jump on it, they don't have to see the animal, they don't have to smell the animal, they don't have to hear it. They can sense the shadow change and move out the way. So they can tell if you're there, even if they can't see, smell, or hear you. Yep, they have very good vision. These guys in the wild usually eat dead things also. So they're scavengers mostly. And they're from Southeast Asia, these water monitors. And this is an albino one. This is a baby. What's up, buddy?
I was watching this show and this girl and dad.
Alright guys, there's a question over here, guys. Guys, if we don't settle down, I'll put the baby back. Okay.
And they were in the treehouse, and they were holding every animal and snakes, and
That's cool. Very cool.
even watched the show about sharks too.
Oh, very nice.
And there's only one guy.
Very cool. So we'll walk around with this one while Mark gets the next animal ready, okay? Yeah, question? No, he's tasting the air particle, just like the table. It's not zigzag, they usually put it down, it's fork tongue, and they put it down to taste the air particles. No, her name is Mrs. Smooth, that's what her name is. Yeah. Okay, we have an excellent question here. Guys, if you guys want to settle down, they want to know a few of the differences between the lizards and the snakes, right? Both actually shed. If a snake is nice and healthy, the snake... Alright guys, settle down. If a snake is healthy, it sheds in one piece. Lizards usually shed in pieces. And there's actually certain lizards that while they're shedding, they're eating it off. So a lot of people didn't even know they shed until they actually saw it. Because imagine if you're shedding, you eat it off automatically. then you're not going to get to see it, right? So a lot of lizards do that, but they all shed. As they get bigger, they kind of outgrow it. Just like we outgrow our clothes, they're outgrowing their skin, and they shed that off. People actually shed off their skin too, but we do it all the time on a daily basis. Most of the dust in your house is actually from skin from people, actually. But anyways, another difference, lizards have ears, snakes do not. Lizards have eyelids. Snakes do not. Cool, right? There's a lizard. Lizards have eyelids. So this guy has an eyelid. Snakes, the other guys.
He has a big tail.
Yeah, big tail. Yeah, we have another baby animal out next, okay? One more question. They like to hang out in water. Alright, so the question was, I believe, do these guys hang out in water? Alright guys, settle down. They do hang out in water. They're called water monitors. They're excellent swimmers. What they do, they go into the water, they put their tail back and forward, they use it like a propeller. They're actually extremely good at swimming, extremely fast. Alrighty guys, you guys ready for the baby? Alrighty, cool. Mark's going to tell you guys about it.
Anthony and Cody.
Somebody know what this guy is?
Over here. Get away from him. Over here.
No, you can't
Get
pet
away
him.
from him.
It's a baby bearded dragon. They're from the desert. They like a lot of heat. Desert in Australia, actually. They love the heat. What's that? He likes to climb. These guys make great pets. Probably one of the best pet lizards that you can ever find. They'll hang out on your shoulder all day, watch TV with you. They love cartoons. This guy is actually a red bearded dragon. No name for this guy. We only have 2 animals with names here.
Alrighty guys, if you settle down, I'll tell you about this other one, okay? Let's make a little bit of an aisle here so we can walk through. So this right here, this is an adult bearded dragon. This right here is a female. This female right here, she's a special type of bearded dragon. She's called a leatherback. The reason they call it that is because their scales are a little bit different. But anyways, this is an adult one, and that's a baby one right there. This is cool, right? You see the difference in size, right? Bearded dragons, like he was saying, they're from dry environments. They're from Australia. They usually stay at about no, it's not the mom. They usually stay at about 100 degrees, 110 degrees all the time. Yep. The only time there's cooler temperatures are times like now when we're out with them. Yes. We have a question here. Let's see what the question is. No. The question is, guys, is this the mom? This is actually not the mom of that one. This one hasn't had babies to my knowledge. Not yet at least. These guys make great pets. They're extremely popular. They're very calm. They don't get too big. That's why people like them.
Nope, he doesn't blow a fire. No fire.
Alrighty.
Laura.
Oh, so another cool thing, I believe it was either this group or the previous one. Guys, one of the groups was asking about a lizard puffing up, right? These guys, when they're upset, when they're trying to be territorial, especially males, this one's not a male, but the males do this. They're called bearded dragons because they take this and they puff it up really big. So like, they look big and tough, so they're trying to fend off other things. They also bob their heads too. They'll even attack their own reflection. So a lot of times people have them in tanks, and they're asking, why does my bearded dragon keep on hitting the tank? It's because they can see the reflection, and they're actually attacking themselves, because they don't realize that they're attacking themselves. Question? Yes? Yeah, the question is, do they need really hot light bulbs? Yes, they do. Being a desert species, they like to be between 100 and 115 degrees. The only times they're usually cooler are at nights, or if during the day we have them out, like this.
That's his beard. They're actually like spiky skin, so if he gets mad...
Oh, he's grown, man.
Yeah. If he gets mad, he'll puff up and those will be like, kind of like a porcupine.
They could climb. They're not very... Oh, the question was, how do these guys climb? Usually they actually don't climb that much. They usually hang out on the ground, and if they do climb, they're climbing like little logs. They don't climb up like high in trees or anything like that. They're what's known as terrestrial. beard. The bearded dragon has the beard. The question was, alright guys, the question was, do they change colors? These guys, they can change colors a little bit. If they're angry or they're agitated, they can get a little bit darker.
When they're really mad, those get really
question,
sharp. Because they puff out. Make them really sharp.
Cade.
Yes.
What?
This is a baby.
What?
He's probably 4 months old. Oh, that's really old. I don't even know how old that one is. About 4 months old.
Aiden.
This is a boy.
Aiden. Back up, Cade. Will you back up? Yeah. Don't get on top.